First question, they have given you this figure. They have said OD is perpendicular to AB and BC is the diameter. It's obvious because O is the center point. That is what they have said. And you have been asked to find CA by OD. So you have to find CA by OD. A very easy question. Now, this is the diameter. If you remember, diameter always makes an angle of 90 degree with the circle. If you see this. So since this is the diameter, it is making angle of 90 degree. Now, okay, we can write angle A equal to 90 degree because angle by diameter, right? Now next, angle A plus angle D is 180 degree. So angle A plus angle D equal to 180 degree. Therefore, AC parallel to DO. So we get this is parallel to this. Why? Sum of internal angles of a transversal is equal to 180. So whenever sum of internal angles of a transversal is equal to 180, the two lines will be parallel, right? Or the intersecting line. You can call it transversal or intersecting line. So now we got this parallel to this. Now if you remember, sorry guys, if you remember midpoint theorem, this line is passing through if you consider this triangle ABC, this line is passing through midpoint of one side and is parallel to the third side, which means D is also midpoint of AB. So we get D is midpoint of AB. What is the reason? Converse of midpoint theorem. This is converse of midpoint theorem. So this is converse of midpoint theorem. So therefore we get this as midpoint. Now this is midpoint and this is midpoint. Means what does that mean? Line is parallel to the third side and is half of it. If you remember converse of midpoint theorem, or now if you remember, we have proved that this is midpoint. Now if you remember midpoint theorem, line passing through midpoints of a triangle will be parallel to the third side and half of it. So what do we have? DO is half of AC, right? We get this is half of this from midpoint theorem. Now we got DO equal to half of AC. They have asked us CA by OD. CA and AC is the same thing. So I'll transpose DO this side and to that side. So what do I get? 2 equal to AC by OD or DO. You can write it as AC or CA. So what is CA by OD? CA by OD is equal to 2. There is another way you can solve this problem. Instead of using midpoint theorem, what you could have done was, you know this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. You could have used similarity. You could have used similarity for triangle BDO and ABC. You could have used similarity also. This is 90 degree. If this is 90, this also will be 90, right? So this is 90 degree and angle B is common. So you could have used similarity. Now since D is midpoint, this by the whole thing will be 1 by 2. Similarly, this by this also will be 1 by 2. So you could have used either similarity or you can use midpoint theorem. The second question in circles, they have given you this figure and they have given this as 40 degrees and they have given one more angle actually, that is this is 60 degree. And they have asked you to find angle BCP, that is you have to find this angle. Now guys, this angle is of no use. They have simply given it. This is a very easy problem. You can solve it in a minute. Now this is the diameter. Since O is center and this is a straight line. Okay, they have also said it is a cyclic quadrilateral. But that is also of no use for this problem because we don't need to use it. Alright, there are many ways you can solve this problem, but I will show you the easiest way. Now what is cyclic quadrilateral? Cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral where sum of opposite angles will be supplementary, 180 degrees, which means opposite angles are supplementary. Alright, that is what a cyclic quadrilateral is. But even that is not needed to solve this problem. If you notice, this is the diameter because it's passing through center O, which means this angle will be 90 degrees. Since this angle is 90, now see, this entire angle, this whole angle is 180. Why? Because it's a tangent which is a straight line. We already have this and this. We need to find this. How will you find this? 180 minus these two angles. So 90 plus 40 degree. So we get 180 minus 130 degree, which is equal to 50 degree. So this angle is 50 degree. Now you could have done it another way, that is we know this is 90 degree. They have given this is, okay, actually, this is the simplest way to do it. You don't really need to do anything else. Okay, the other way you could have done it is, since this is 40, this also will be 40 degree. Why? Angle in opposite segment. And this angle will be equal to this angle. Why? Again, these two are angles in opposite segment. Now we have 40 and 90. And we can find this angle by using this triangle, and we can use angle sum property of this triangle to find this angle. When you would have done it, again you would have got this plus this plus this is 180. So this will be 180 minus this plus this. So you got 50 degrees here, which means this also will be 50 degrees. This is another way you could have solved. Guys, now the third problem. They have told from an external point P, the length of tangent to a circle is 15 centimeters, and they have said distance of P from center is 17 centimeters. They have asked us to find the radius. A very simple problem. This is R. Now how do we find this is a right angle triangle? Because line from center makes 90 degree with the tangent. Over using Pythagoras theorem, you can find R. So what do we get? Hypotenuse square minus one side square equal to the third side. So 17 square is 289, I think, but still I'll calculate. It's better to be safe. Yeah, it's 289. So 289 minus 15 square is 225 equal to R square. So 289 minus 225 will give us 9 minus 5, 4, 8 minus 2, 6. So we get 64 equal to R square. So R equal to root of 64. So R equal to 8 centimeters. So the radius is 8 centimeters. Alright guys, now the fourth problem, they have given you this figure. They have told you that these two are concentric circles, which means that they have common center. They have said radius of the bigger circle is 5 and the radius of the smaller circle is 3 centimeters. And they have given you an external point P, which makes one tangent with the bigger circle, one tangent with the smaller circle. They have said AP is 12 centimeters and you have to find the length of BP. So first what I'll do is, from here I'll join a line here to the tangent, which means this is 90 degree and this is the radius of the circle, which is 3. Similarly, I'll join this to this point to this tangent. Again we get 90 degrees and the radius is 5. And then I'll join this line to this line. Now we have two right angle triangles. Now in this triangle we have two sides, which means we can find the third side. So using Pythagoras theorem, what do we get? 5 square plus 12 square equal to OP square. So this square plus this square equal to hypotenuse square. So 5 square is 25, 12 square is 144 equal to OP square. So we get 169 equal to OP square. So OP is root of 169, which is 13 centimeters. So we got this as 13 centimeters. Now in this right angle triangle we have two sides. So again using Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square minus one side square equal to the third side square, right? So we get 169 minus 9 equal to BP square. So we get 160 equal to BP square. So BP is root of 160. So how do we find root of 160? Prime factorize. So 160, 2s are 80, 2s are 40, 2s are 20, 2s are 10. And again 2s are 5, 5s are 1, right? Now there is one pair of 2 which becomes 1, 2. There is another pair of 2 which becomes a single 2 when you bring it outside the square root. But what remains is 1, 2 and 1, 5, which will remain inside the square root. So BP, this is 2 into 2, 4. And what is remaining inside the square root? 2 and 5. So 2 into 5, 10. So we get 4 root 10 centimeters. Alright guys, next question, they have given you this figure. They have said these two circles touch at point C and you have to prove that common tangent RC, this common tangent bisects tangent PQ, or it bisects PQ basically. So how do you show that this point is bisecting these two sides? You just have to prove this is equal to this. If you can show PR is equal to RQ, you can say CR is bisecting PQ. Now how do we get? Now if you see R is an external point, so PR equal to RC. PR will be equal to RC. Why? Same tangents from same external point. Similarly, we have QR equal to RC. We have QR equal to RC. Again, tangents from same external points. So from 1 and 2 what do we get? You'll write it like this, 1, 2, and from 1 and 2 you get PR equal to QR. So you get PR equal to QR. Therefore R is midpoint of PQ, hence tangent, hence the common tangent RC bisects PQ or tangent PQ. Alright guys, the next problem, they have given you this figure. They have said this angle is 58 and they have asked you to find ABQ and AQB. Now, how will you solve this? If you notice again, this is diameter. So it will make angle 90 degree with the circle. Now we have this as 90 degree. Now this is 58. So this also will be 58. Why? Angles in the opposite segment. Now we have 90 degree, 58 degree. We can find angle ABQ. How do we find this? Sum of angle sum property of triangle. So what do we get? This plus this should be 180. So therefore 180 minus this plus this, that is 90 plus 58 will be equal to angle ABQ, right? Angle sum property of a triangle. So we get 180 minus 90 plus 58 is 148. So what do we get? 180 minus 148 is 32 degrees. So we get this as 32 degrees. Another way you could have solved it was, this is 58, this is 90. This whole angle is 180. So we could have found this. Again, this should have been 180 minus 90 plus 58. So we would have got 32 here. Now this angle will be equal to this angle. Why? Again, angles in the opposite segment. So that way also you could have solved. Now, okay, we got this as 58. We got all these angles. Alright. Now AQB. So we have to find this angle. How do we find? Now we consider this triangle. Very easy. Consider this triangle. This is 32 degree. How? Angle in the opposite segment, or we could have used this also and found. So we have found this is 32 degree. This whole angle is 180. Since this angle is 58, how much will this be? 180 minus 58. That is 122, I think, right? Yeah. So this is 122 degree. Now if you see this angle, 120, this plus this plus this, these three, sum of three angles should be 180. So this angle will be 180 minus 122 plus 32. So we get 180 minus 154, right? So that is equal to 26 degree. So this is equal to 26 degree. So this is one way you could have solved it. Otherwise, instead of finding this angle, you could have taken this triangle, this whole triangle, this triangle. This, we know this is 90, we know this is 32. So we have this angle, we have this angle. This angle plus this angle plus this angle is 180. So using that also you could have found. Either ways, you would have got ABQ as 32 degree and AQB as 26 degree. Alright guys, now they have given you this is the next problem. They have given you this figure and they have said AC is 8 centimeter, AB is 6 centimeter, and they have told you this is a right angle triangle. So in this problem they have told you it is a right angle triangle. First thing we'll do is we'll find the value of BC. So what will be BC? 8 square plus 6 square equal to BC square. This square plus this square equal to hypotenuse square. So 64 plus 36 equal to BC square. So 100 equal to BC square. So BC will be root of 100, that is 10 centimeters. So we got this entire thing as 10 centimeters, right? Now guys, look at this. What do we have? This is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. Corresponding angles are equal. This will be parallel to this. Similarly, this is also 90 degree and this is also 90 degree. So why is this 90 degree? This is like a tangent. Line from center to tangent will make 90 degree. Now these two are also 90 degrees. So sum of internal angles of a transversal are equal to 180. So this is parallel to this. So we now have, this is a parallelogram. What have they marked this as? Okay, they have not marked it as anything. We can just mark it as M and N. and this has O. So what do we have? AMON is a parallelogram. Now since next thing, this it's a parallelogram means what? This side is equal to this side and this side is equal to this side. But we also have this side equal to this side, which means all four sides are equal, which means it is a rhombus. Plus the angles are 90 degrees, so it is a square. All squares are rhombuses, right? So since this is a square, AM also will be R, AN also will be R, right? So now we have this as R, the whole thing is 8. So how much will MC be? 8 minus R centimeters. This is R, this whole thing is 6. So this will be 6 minus R centimeters. So what do we have? R plus 8 minus R plus, if this is 8 minus R, CS also will be 8 minus R. Why? Tangents from common external points. So again plus 8 minus R plus, how much will this SB be? SB will also be equal to 6 minus R. Again tangents from common external point. So this will be also equal to this. So we have plus 6 minus R plus this 6 minus R plus this R. So you understood what we have done. No, this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this side will be equal to, we know all three sides. So 8 plus 10 plus 6. Now plus R minus R cancels. Okay. Then we have 8 plus 8. 16, 16 plus 6, 22, 22 plus 6, 28. So we have 28. Now here again 1 minus R, 1 plus R cancels. So what do we get? Minus R, minus R. So minus 2R equal to 8 plus 10 plus 6. So 8 plus 10, 18, 18 plus 6, 24. So now we get minus 2R equal to 24 minus 28 plus 28 becomes minus 28. So we get minus 2R equal to minus 4, minus minus sign cancels, then 2 ones are, 2 twos are, so we get R equal to 2 centimeters. I hope you understood how I cancelled this 2 and this 4, because when I excuse me guys, sorry, when I transpose this 2 on the other side, it becomes by 2. Guys, now the next question, they have given you this figure, they have said this is 30 degree and you have to find RL M, and they have said RS is a tangent to this circle and MN is diameter. Now very easy to solve. There are many ways you can solve, but my preference would have been I join this. Now since MN is diameter, this will be 90 degree. Now we have this triangle MLN. So we have two angles, we can find the third angle. What will be the third angle? 180 minus 90 plus 30, because this plus this plus this is 180. So 180 minus 90, 90, 90 minus 30, 60. So this is 60 degree. Hence this also will be 60 degree. Why? Because angles in the opposite segment. The other thing you could have done was, since this is 30, this is also 30 degree. Now this whole angle is 180. So this angle would have been 180 minus 90 plus 30. You would have got the same answer. Alright guys, now the next problem, they have given you this figure, okay, triangle ABC, and they have said there is a circle inscribed in it and they have given you these three sides. Now if you noticed in this, they have just told the sides are 16, 20 and 24. They have not told you which side is 16, which side is 20, which side is 24. But generally when that happens, they have given it to you as triangle ABC. So since the AB will be considered as the first side, so 16, BC will be considered as the second side, so 20, and AC will be considered as the third side, so 24. Now that we have got this, if you remember in the previous test also you had a similar problem. I'll take this as X. So if I take AD as X, this becomes 16 minus X. If this becomes 16 minus X, this too will become 16 minus X. Now if this much is 16 minus X, whole thing is 20, this will become 20 minus 16 minus X. Remember to put 16 minus X in brackets, because it's 20 minus the whole thing. Now if this is 20 minus 16 minus X, this also will be 20 minus 16 minus X, this much. Now, and this is X, so this also will be X. So we have split it into parts. Now what do we have? X plus 16 minus X plus 16 minus X plus 20 minus 16 minus x plus again 20 minus 16 minus x plus x will be equal to sum of three sides, that is 16 plus 20 plus 24. Alright. So plus x minus x cancels. Then okay, we'll open the bracket. 16 plus 16, 32 minus x plus 20 minus 16 plus x, minus into minus plus x, again plus 20 minus 16 minus into minus plus x equal to 16 plus 20 plus 24, 20 plus 24, 44, 44 plus 16, 54, 60. Right? Now again we'll check minus x and plus x cancels. Anything else? No. So we have minus 16 becomes minus 32. Minus 32 plus 32 will cancel. 20 plus 20, 40 plus x 2x equal to 60. So 2x equal to 60 minus 40. So we get 2x equal to 20, which means x is equal to 20 by 2, 10 centimeters. So we got 10 centimeters. Now they have asked us to find AD, BD, BE and CF. Now AD is x, we already got AD as 10 centimeters, right? Now BE, how much is BE? BE is 16 minus x, so 16 minus 10, that equal to 6 centimeters. And finally CF, how much is CF? 20 minus 16 minus x, so 20 minus 16 minus 10, that is equal to 20, 16 minus 10, 6, so 20 minus 6, that is equal to 14 centimeters. So the three sides are 10, 6 and 14 centimeters. Alright guys, now the next question, they have given you this figure. They have said AB and CD are parallel tangents. They also said ST is the tangent and they said O is center. You have to prove angle SOT is 90 degrees. So you have to prove in this problem, you have to prove SOT equal to 90 degrees. It's similar to a problem that you have solved in the previous test. Here, what do we do? First we join PO and OR. Alright. So now we have joined PO and OR. Now what do we get? And we will also join this point to this point, and this point has it been given? Yeah, this has been given as Q. Now triangle, if you see triangle POS and QOS, POS and triangle QOS, they will be congruent. Okay guys, in the previous test I just told you it was congruent. You need to show how it is congruent, which I'll show you now. Alright, we have this side equal to this side. Why? PS equal to QS, because common tangents from the same external, tangents from the same external point to the circle. We also have this equal to this, PO equal to QO. Why? Because both are radius of the circle. And we have OS equal to OS, which is, this is common. Hence these two triangles are congruent by SSS property, SSS congruency. So now since we have these two congruent, we will have this angle equal to this angle. Let's mark this as x. So this also will be x. So we have angle x equal to angle x. Similarly, you can prove these two triangles are congruent, which means this angle will be equal to this angle. We'll mark this as y. So this also will be y. So we have angle y, not angle x equal to angle x. We'll write it as angle PSO equal to angle QSO. And here you'll write it as angle RTO equal to angle QTO. What is the reason? CPCT. You don't have to prove congruency for this angle. Once you prove congruency for this, you can write similarly this triangle congruent to this triangle. So you can do it like that. So now we have these two angles are equal, right? Now if you see, this whole angle plus this whole angle will be 180. Do you know why? Because they have said these two tangents are parallel and this is another tangent, which means it acts like a transversal. So sum of internal angles of a transversal. So we'll have angle PSQ, this whole angle, plus angle RTQ equal to 180 degree. What is the reason? Sum of interior angles of transversal. All right. So we have this. Now PSQ plus RTQ is composed of x plus x plus y plus y. So we have 2x plus 2y equal to 180. I can take 2 common, you get x plus y equal to 180. This 2 when it goes on the other side it becomes 90. So I get x plus y equal to 90 degree. Now considering this triangle only, S in triangle SOT, what do we have? In triangle SOT, this angle, that is x plus angle SOT plus y equal to 180 degree. Angle some property of triangle. This angle plus this angle plus this angle will be 180. But what do we have? X plus y is 90. So we have x plus y as 90. So we get 90 plus angle SOT equal to 180 degree. So therefore angle SOT will be equal to 180 minus 90, which is equal to 90 degree. So we have proved angle SOT is 90 degree. Alright guys, now the next question, they have given you this figure. They have said PC is the tangent, AB is diameter which is extended to P, and they have said angle PCA is 110. Now if we observe, how do we, and they have asked us to find angle CBA. Now if I split this triangle, if you see only this part, this is the diameter, this is making, which will make 90 degrees. So this much is 90 degree. But they have given us the whole angle is from here to here it is 110, which means this angle will be 110 minus 90, that is 20 degree. So only this part is 20 degree. Now this angle will be equal to this angle. Why? Angles in the opposite segment. So now we have this angle. Now if you consider this triangle, we have this angle plus this angle plus this angle equal to 180 degree. So we have angle CBA plus 90 plus 20 equal to 180 degree. So angle CBA plus 110 equal to 180 degree. So angle CBA will be equal to 180 minus 110, which is equal to 70 degree. Alright guys, now the last question in the test. They have given you this figure. They have said AB is diameter and AB is 5 centimeters, AT is 12 centimeters. They have asked us to find CT. Little tricky questions. I don't know how many of you have been able to do it. Now what we'll do first is, we know AB, we know AT, and this is a right angle triangle. Why? Because line from center to the tangent makes 90 degree. So we can find the value of BT. So what do we have? BT square equal to AB square, that is 5 square plus AT square, that is 12 square. So we get 25 plus 44 BT square. So BT square will be equal to 169, which means BT equal to root of 169, 13 centimeters. So we get this whole thing as 13 centimeters. This is 12 centimeters and this whole thing is 5 centimeters. Now they have asked us to find CT. Let us join A to C. Alright. Now we have joined A to C. What do we get? AB is diameter. AB is diameter making an angle on circle, which means this is 90 degree, which means this is also 90 degree since it's a straight line. Now for this problem, for you to solve, you have to use similarity. First I'll take the whole triangle. We'll split the triangles. Like I said, it's better to split the triangles always. ATB, ATB, and I'll take this triangle ACT. So I'm taking triangle ACT. We know this angle is 90 degree. We know this angle is 90 degree, and this angle is common, which means by double A similarity we have we'll write angle A equal to 90 degree and angle C also equal to 90. We'll write it like this. Sorry, angle A equal to angle C equal to 90 degree. All right. The second thing is angle T equal to angle T because common, right? And this is given because given. All right. Next, so we have triangle ABT similar to. Now we have to be very careful. We have started with A, which means we have to start with C over here, which is the right angle. Then we went to B, which means we have to go to A over here. And last thing is T. So we have triangle ABT similar to triangle CAT. Now we have to find CT. Where does CT come here? So AT and CT are needed. So what do we have? Okay, now we'll mark the angles. Sides 5, 13, and we have AT as 12, and this we do not know. Okay, we have AT, and which else do we know in this? Alright guys, now what do we have? We need to find CT. So we'll take AT by CT, the corresponding sides. AT by CT is equal to, which is the next corresponding side? In this, we have to take BT by, in this we have to take AT. These are the two corresponding sides, right? So BT by AT. So what do we get? AT is 12 by CT equal to BT, that is 13 by 12, right? Now transposing this 12 I bring up here, this CT I take there, so I get 12 into 12 equal to 13 into CT, right? So 12 into 12, 144 by, when I take this 13, it becomes by 13 equal to CT. Hence CT is 144 by 13.